I suppose we won't be having streaming this morning, is it? Are we? Are we streaming or? Oh. Achha. Okay. So we welcome. Is that 10 o'clock now? No, 2 minutes more. Sorry.
Play something again.
We welcome you to broadcast, which is not showing at the moment. Hopefully it will show sometime. It's 10 o'clock and we start at 10. And is there a problem at the back there? Hello? So why is that showing? Is it up there? Oh, I don't see it over there. Oh, okay. All right. So we welcome you to our broadcast this morning. It's 10 o'clock now and we are have a special week this week for at Vishnu Temple. This is our 29th annual Bhagavad Katha will start this evening. So we ask God and to bless us, all of you, to give you our blessings and good wishes so our Katha goes well. It's an annual retreat and for some of us we look forward to it. And I hope that you also will be looking forward to it later on. So please join with me. Asanguham, 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 punah punah. This prayer is really what we should be in our lives. It's a difficult pill to swallow, but this is what will give us ultimate joy. All the sutras, all the scriptures, the Vedas, the Puranas, Upanishad, Brahma Sutra, they all tell us one thing. For you to be happy in this world, you must be unattached. but attachment is our DNA, and because of this, very difficult for us to be unattached. But we try. In this world, we all have to try. Asangoham, 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 pudah, pudah. Okay.
Asangoham, asangoham,
But how will I know it's okay?
punah punah
Satchidananda rupoham,
Satchidananda Rupoham
ahameva havavyaham.
Ahameva Hamavyayah.
Shabash. Dadharmanishtos vicharatmavedi dabhaktivaltva charadarabildim dabhaktivaltva charadarabildim akincha ananya gati shararya tvadpadamulam sharanam prapadye tvadpadamulam sharanam prapadye tvatpadamulam sharanam prapadye. Guru Surya hai, Chandra Guru hai.
Guru Surya hai, Chandra Guru hai.
Guru hai Pura Prakash.
Guru hai Purna Prakash.
गुरु के चरणों में मिलता है,
गुरु के चरणों में मिलता है
तन मन को उल्लास।
गुरु सूर्य है, चंद्र गुरु है, गुरु है पूर्ण प्रकाश।
शांताकारं भुजगशयनं पद्मनाभं सुरेशं विश्वाधारं गगनसदृशं मेघवर्णं शुभांगं लक्ष्मीकान्तं कमलनयनं योगिहृद्यै ध्यानगम्यं वन्दे विष्णु भवभयहरं सर्वलोकैकनाथं।
गुरु सूर्य है, चंद्र गुरु है, गुरु है पूर्ण प्रकाश।
लक्ष्मीकान्तं कमलनयनं योगिहृदय ध्यानगम्यं. It means Mother Lakshmi, we're on his side, and the yogi, and the yogi is what? Yogi Hridaya. Hridaya is heart. In their hearts, they concentrate upon Mahavishnu and Lakshmi. And this is what we have to do this week. Mahavishnu stories will be said. Hridaya Jnanagamyam Bande Vishnu Bhava Bhayaharam. O Lord, remove my fears. Bhav Bhai. Remove my fears. Bhava Bhayaharam Sarvalokaikadatham.
गुरु सूर्य है, चंद्र गुरु है, गुरु है पूर्ण प्रकाश।
Govinda bolo bolo, Gopal bolo.
गोविंद बोलो बोलो, गोपाल बोलो।
Govinda bolo bolo, Gopal bolo.
गोविंद बोलो बोलो, गोपाल बोलो।
Govinda bolo bolo, Gopal bolo.
गोविंद बोलो बोलो, गोपाल बोलो।
Govinda bolo bolo, Gopal bolo.
गोविंद बोलो बोलो, गोपाल बोलो।
Radha Ramana Hare Govinda bolo.
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो।
Radha Ramana Hare Govinda bolo.
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो।
Radha Ramana Hare Govinda bolo.
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो।
Radha Ramana Hare Govinda bolo.
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो।
Govinda bolo bolo, Gopal bolo.
गोविंद बोलो बोलो, गोपाल बोलो।
कोई कहे गोविंद, कोई गोपाला.
कोई कहे गोविंद, कोई गोपाला।
कोई कहे गोविंद, कोई गोपाला.
कोई कहे गोविंद, कोई गोपाला।
मैं तो कहूँ सावरिया बासुरिया वाला.
मैं तो कहूँ सावरिया वाला
गोविंद बोलो बोलो गोपाल बोलो
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 गोविंद बोलो बोलो गोपाल. So last week I told you about the beginning of a first shloka of Pratah Smarami. I know that what I am saying, or what I will be hopefully be saying in the next 7 days, will not just be storytelling, but will be a little bit of थोड़ा सा गहरा जाएंगे थोड़ा. I will speak a little bit more about our Vedantic teachings, etc. So I hope that you will enjoy, and I hope that you will not get too bored with it, because it's not easy to follow if you're not part of this. So last time I said to you, Pratasvarami Ridi Sansfuratma Tattva. When I wake up in the morning, early morning, Pratah, I know I'm going to repeat myself. And I don't mind repeating myself, because I know you would have forgotten already. Pratah, what word came from Pratah? Not prayers, but you're right. Pratana. From Pratah came the word Pratana. Pratana means I pray. Pratah means morning, early dawn. In the early morning when I wake up, he said dawn. Dawn means before
Sunrise.
sunrise. Dawn is when you see the sky start to get a little red and pink and all sorts of beautiful colors. You have to get up you have to get up in the early morning to appreciate nature. And then you see first the colors will come, and then the rim of the sun will come. If you're fortunate, you can see that. And then that rim will come, and if you live by a body of water, it goes, as I told you, it comes like a golf ball on a tee. That you see the sun comes up like a ball, and the shadow of that red sun goes down into the water, straight down into the water, like a pencil. So it sits. And that is what life is all about. Life is about seeing the sun, seeing nature, and appreciating how wonderful this world is, and how thankful we should be to God. So Pratah, that one word I would like you to remember, if nothing else. Pratah means early morning, and also it means Pratana, prayer. Smarami, remember. What you remember? You know what you remember? You remember, am I this body? This body which is filled with, of course, blood, etc., and some unmentionables this body has. You got what I'm saying? And you remember Smarami what? What do I remember Smarami? I remember that my soul, my Atman, is pure, and I came with a pure Atman, I must go back with a pure Atman. Make my Atma pure, Prabhu. Make my Atma clean. Clean it out. Smarami. Hridi. Hridi is heart. But here's not the heart, which is the muscular organ that pumps the blood. Here, the heart is that inner core, your inner being. Make that clean. You see? How do you know that soul is there in your heart? Because if you go into a room that is lit, it is bright, you can see it. But when the room is dark, you can also appreciate that the room is dark. What is appreciating that? You can't see with your eyes because the room is dark. But because there's no light in there. But you know that that room is dark. You know that room is dark because the Atman in you is the light which projects outside to tell you that this room is dark. And you remember that? You remember your pure essence, as I said there, your reality then. Sansvarat means shining, bright Atma, by bright Atma. So, there are 4 Mahavakyas. I hope I'm not going too deep here. There are 4 Mahavakyas. And the 4 Mahavakyas, they all come from the 4 Vedas. What Mahavakya means? Maha means vast, great. Vakya means word or an aphorism or a little a teaching then, if you may say so. And the first one is that we know comes from Rig Veda and is called Prajnanam Brahma. Prajnanam Brahma. Prajnana means the whole Brahma, the essence of Brahman is all consciousness. I'm all consciousness. That consciousness that is within you, is within the animal, is within the trees, and some people say it's within the water because water responds also. If you look at it and you'll see how water responds. So consciousness is in everything, but consciousness is at the highest level. Where? In us as human beings. It comes, so Prajnanam Brahma means this Brahman is consciousness. So if somebody asks you as a Hindu, what is your fate? You know, many people think that religion is fate. I believe in Christ, so I am a Christian. I believe in Allah, so I am Islam. Right? I believe in Buddha, so I'm a Buddhist. That is fate. That is the religion. Is that right? But when you ask a Hindu, what is your faith? What is your religion? This is where Swami Vivekananda, when he came to the West, he told them that it is not a religion that belongs to a God as such, but it's something that you have to realize. You have to know. You have to know that God exists. You have to feel. You don't see, but you feel that God exists, and he has said, and look, all of you here have had that experience of God. Each and every one of you has had that experience of God. Unfortunately, you don't remember and you don't acknowledge at the time when the experience comes to you, you don't acknowledge it, so you don't know the truth. So the consciousness, which is Brahman, has no shape, has no form, has nothing. It's just pure consciousness. That consciousness is what we worship, if you want to say that. And you have to experience that consciousness. And how you experience that consciousness? You experience that consciousness when you can be in silence. Never associate yourself with someone who talks all the time. Because if he has or she has to talk all the time, lots of lies will come in there to fill up all the gaps. So, through silence, but when you know that your consciousness is Brahman, how you can realize that consciousness? You realize it through silence. Okay. Mahatma Gandhi, he used to keep silence, I think was every Monday. And when the Governor General went to him on a Monday, he never spoke to the Governor General. He was not like me and you, and the Governor General, oh, Governor General, come here, I have to fall this. No. Because you know why? He was Satyam. He believed in the truth. And if you look at Uttarakhand, before I talk more about silence, I'll tell you what truth is. At Uttarakhand, above Doha 49, it's a beautiful chaupai.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Rama. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Rama.
Soi saravagya taja soi pal de. Soi guna griya vigyana akhal de.
Shri Ram Jai Jai Rama. Shri Ram Jai Jai Rama.
Daksha sakala rama daksha sakala lakshala juta soi jaake pada sarojarati hoye.
Shri Ram Jai Rama. Shri Ram Jai Rama.
Soi saravagya jagya soi pal de. वही सर्वज्ञ है, वही तत्वज्ञ और पंडित है. Who? वही सब गुणों का भंडार और अखंड विज्ञानी है. He is a wise person. He is called a pandit. He is the all-knower. And of who is it knower of what? Knower of truth. The Bhagavad Katha theme will be Satyam Param Dhimahi. This will be the theme of our Bhagavad Katha. So today I want to give you a little bit, what do you call it? A trailer. You know what trailer is? A little trailer. He alone is wise, the knower of the truth, and scholar, pandit. वो पंडित है. असोच्यानाम असोचस्त्वं प्रज्ञावादान से भाष्य से गतासु न गतासुच नान्य सोचन्ति pandita. Chapter 2 verse 11 Bhagavad Gita. He says he's a pandit who knows that I came alone, I go alone, and if I want to be happy, I must try to be alone. And you can only be alone when you can sit down by yourself. You have to give yourself some time. You have to give time to yourself. You can't be rush. Otherwise you will never get this. So that's why you have to go into silence. And in that silence comes, silence comes through perseverance. Through perseverance, you have to persevere. Silence doesn't come so easy. You say that you want to be silent. Silent? I wonder if that email was sent. I wonder if I'm going to get any email today. shall I check my message box before I go really into silence? Or shall I, or do you think I can wait for 2 more minutes? And, oh, the phone is ringing. I wonder who wants me. All this. Perseverance. Through silence comes through perseverance. You should try it a little bit. But unfortunately, if you are surrounded by people and you don't talk, they want to know whether you're upset with them. You don't want to talk to them. I'm totally surrounded by these things. They got to talk. They want you to talk. So to be silent, you get up early in the morning when they are sleeping. So nobody can bother you. If you live upstairs, you go downstairs. Or if you live in whatever, be in a corner. Sit down. You don't have to do anything. Just sit down. And be silent. And try not to have any thoughts. This is the whole thing. You try not to have any thoughts. You have to persevere. Through silence comes perseverance, and through perseverance comes meditation. Now, you can't expect the first day you go to do this is going to happen. It's not going to happen. Otherwise, all of us will do it. Why it's not going to happen? Because we are surrounded by people all the days of our life. We are surrounded by lies and all these things all the days of our life. So it would not happen. It would not happen. So you have to practice, practice, practice. You see, they asked a fellow, I discovered with all the lives that we have had, lives, not lies, lives. You ask a fellow, he said, I'm a born-again Christian. What about you? He asked the Hindu. What about you? I'm a born-again Christian. What about you? He said, I'm a born again, 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 born again. Because why? He knows he has come through so many lives. So he's born and born and born and born and born. And when you're born and born, all these vasanas come on top of you. And when these vasanas come on top of you, silence becomes difficult. But we can work it out. We can work it out, but you have to persevere. You have to persevere. And when you persevere, and the perseverance comes meditation, and through meditation, we awaken the vitality of life, which is what? Prajnanam Brahma. What did I say? Prajnanam, that's one of the Mahavakyas. And which Veda it came from? Rig Veda. And which Upanishad? Did I tell you the Upanishad? Atriya Upanishad. Atriya Upanishad, Rig Veda, Prajnanam Brahma. Consciousness is Brahman. What are you? Who is the God you believe in? I believe in that God who is all consciousness, who is in all being, who is everywhere. Sarvatra. Sarvat. And when it becomes like that, and when Bhagavan asks you, what do you want? What do you say? Chop Duha. What do you say? Nath ek baar mango, Ram kripa kari de, Janama janama Prabhu pada kamala, Kabahu gate jadi de. Nath ek baar mango, Ram kripa kari de. One boon I want, Prabhu. Grant me one boon in your mercy. Nata eka baramangamu Rama kripa karide. What word? Janama janama Prabhupada kamala. All my lives, janam, janam, life after life. Prabhu, Lord, Kamala, your lotus feet. Kabahu gate janine. It must never grow. What? My love for your lotus feet in all my life must never grow less. This is what Vashisht asked of Prabhu Ram. I want nothing else. All I want is a supreme love. And when that supreme love comes to me, then I will know that I am all consciousness. I'm all Prajnanam Brahma. For the Rig Veda, Prajnanam Brahma comes to the Rig Veda to tell you that you're all consciousness. And there's nothing that you want in life. I know the value of my... In other words, the Vashisht is telling him, I know the value of my life. A washerman was washing clothes. You know, if you go to India, they call it Dhobiwala, will come to your house, ask people from India. Or if you go to a hotel also, the Dhobiwala comes around. He knocks at your door, you know, kuch kapra hai? You say yes. And where does he take it? He take it to the riverbank. And you would not want to see what he does with your expensive clothes. How he beats it on the concrete, etc. You don't want to see it. But it comes back nice and shiny and glittering. So while the Dhobiwala was going there, he found a big rock. And this rock was a shining rock. So he used to take that rock and used to clean the clothes with it. And one day the sun fell upon the rock and the rock just glittered. And he thought this rock was a special rock. So he took the rock and he went to the person who was selling vegetable. The person who was selling vegetable, he says, I think this rock is is something special. I'll give you all my sabji today. You give me this rock. So the fellow said, in his mind, the Dhobiwala, he said, if he will give me all this sabji for this rock, sometimes this rock is a little more valuable. So then he went to another seller of selling some other clothes, etc. Same thing, let me give the rock, everything. And until he went to a diamond dealer, and the diamond dealer said, you all know heard story like this before. The diamond dealer says, this rock is very expensive, I'm going to give you 10 lakh rupees, 10,000, 100,000, 1 million rupees. Then he realized how expensive this rock is. This rock is what we have. Mm-hmm. You go to this vegetable seller. Who's the vegetable seller? The vegetable seller is your first stage. You're going up. You go to the vegetable seller. Then you go to the merchant. Then you go to, when you go to the merchant, you go to, then you go to the diamond dealer. And when you go to the diamond dealer, then he tells you what your true value is. Wah kaun hai tera musafir jayenge kaha wah
कौन है तेरा मुसाफिर जाएगा कहाँ
दम ले ले घड़ी भर ये छैया पाएगा कहाँ वह कौन है तेरा मुसाफिर जाएगा कहाँ वह कौन है तेरा वह कौन है तेरा मुसाफिर जाएगा कहाँ
दम ले ले घड़ी भर ये छैया पाएगा कहाँ वहाँ कौन है तेरा
There's no one on your own, oh traveler. Take a breather. Rest here. Rest. The shade is cool here. What shade is talking about? What tree is talking about? The tree under which you will be for the next 7 days. Let's take a rest there. Let us not quarrel with one another. Let us not fight. Oh, did you hear so and so? Oh, you come, there are some people like that. Oh, tell me this. What I hear something. What has happened there? No, cool. Let a cool shade permeate through your being. Wah kaun hai tera? You are a musafir. We are all travelers. We are travelers on this road. And we must know when to take a rest and take shelter. So when the Vashishtas, Nataya kabada mangamu Rama kripa karine Rama kripa karine. Only with your grace, Prabhu. Only because of your grace I can get this. No matter what I do, no matter how much jap I do, no matter how much shivling I do, charavi, whatever, you cannot get it. Talking about shivling, you put bel patra on shivling. If you're really a Shiv Bhakta, the bel patra, put chandan on each patra. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, right, 3. 3. And when you put that bel patra on the shivling, after you put chandan upon it, when you come here, everybody rush you, to give it. I'm telling you, when you're at home, put your chandan upon it. Put a little kumkum upon it, because that bel patra will heal you through the adhyatmic, adi bhautik, adi daivik, and what? What? Those injuries that can be caused by natural disasters, those injuries that is caused by when someone inflict injury upon you, and when you have disease entity in your body. You do that. Because I was talking about Shiluk, I just thought I remember to tell you this. But when you come, not ekabara mango Rama kripa, only when you get Rama's kripa, what I was trying to say, unless we get his kripa, unless we get Shivji's kripa, and all of us have gotten Shivji's kripa who has come, all of us have gotten his kripa. Each and every one of us got his kripa. Unfortunately, we dirty it up, Let us say, I know not all of you pray here for 1 hour. Okay, let us give you that. You pray for 1 hour, whatever. Oh, 1 hour. You pray, Bhagwan ke naam, etc. You do all that. You clean your mind for 1 hour, right? And the next 23 hours, what to do with it? You ever thought of that? 1 hour you clean it. You take it. That is why the scripture says Nam Smaran. Nam Smaran is the most important thing. Hare Rama Rama Ram, Sita Rama Rama Ram.
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 Sita Ram, Sita Ram.
Sita Ram, Sita Ram.
Sita Ram, Sita Ram.
Sita
What's the first Mahavakya? I forgot. Huh? Pragyan something. What is it? What? What's the first Mahavakya I just told you this morning? Huh? Pragyanam Brahma. Pragyanam Brahma. Pragyanam Brahma. And which Veda it came from?
Veda.
Which Upanishad it came from? I told you. Atriya Upanishad. This is one of the 4 Mahavakyas. Unfortunately, this is not storytelling, so it's difficult to. It's one of, and if you understand Pragyanam Brahma, that you are all consciousness. When Vivekananda came to the West, he told the people, when they said, the Christians spoke, whatever spoke, they spoke, he said, you have to experience God. You have to experience Him. You're not going to see Him. You're not going to see Durga Ma with her 8 arms coming down. You're not going to see that. If anyone tells you to see that, check the mental status. You're not going to see Shankar Bhagwan coming down with his jata and all his snakes. You're not going to see that. But you know what? You are going to feel the presence of the Lord. You are going to feel the presence of the Lord. And when you feel the presence of the Lord, then you know what awakens in you? You awaken that entity in you which is called pure consciousness, pure Brahman. It's difficult for people to understand Brahman. Brahman is not Brahmin, something different altogether. Brahman is not that. Brahman is that Lord which I have told you about before. And you are going to hear more about it in the Katha, which I told you about before. That Brahman is the Lord of the Hindus. The other religions tell us that we are idolaters. Is that right? Right? Christianity, Judaism, Islam, Sikhism, right? Jainism, they all tell us that we are idolaters. Because, you know why they tell us we are idolaters? Because there was a gentleman called Max Miller, and he went to translate the Vedas in India. And he could not differentiate between Devas and Bhagwan. So he said the Hindus have 33,000 gods. No, not 33,000, more than 30 crore devata. Because he confused that, all the English schools over here, from Europe to over here, are teaching our children that Hinduism is a polytheistic religion and is an idol-worshipping religion. It is not so. Our religion believes that our God is Brahman, Pragyanam Brahman. And in the Upanishad called, there's another Mahavakya. But what's the point of telling you about another Mahavakya? You can't remember the first one I tell you. So there's no point in telling you about the second one. But I want to just tell you for completion. There are 4. I give you Pragyanam Brahma, which means that consciousness is Brahman. Second Mahavakya I want to tell you today is Tat. Help me, I forgot. What? Huh? Tatvamasi. What it means? Huh? That thou art. That thou art. What thou art? Thou art Brahman. That's what it means. Brahman is in you. That Atman that you have, that is Brahman. So when they say that we worship 40 gods and 100, no. We worship Brahman only. They say, but how all these gods came? Because the rishis and the munis knew we, in this Kali Yuga, you know, I get sidetracked to so many different things. In Satyanarayan Brat Katha, for those who listen to it, it says, Ekada Naimisharanye Rishya Shaurakadaya. Once upon a time, in the forest of Naimisharanya, 88,000 rishis had gathered together. And they want to know what is the message for the world. So similarly, these rishis knew that we would not be able to concentrate on something as abstract as Brahman. So what they did? They compartmentalized Brahman into Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh, Durga, Ganesh. And what they are? Who is Ganapati? Ganapati is the removal of obstacles, one compartment. Who is Durgama? Durgama is the one who energizes us. Who is Shiva? Shiva is what? Karpura Gauram Karunavataram Samsara Saram Bhujagendraharam. He is the one who gives compassion for us. And if you understand this, you will see that you will know. So Tat Tvamasi, did I tell you which Ved it came from? Tat Tvamasi has come from Sam Ved, and the Upanishad it has come from is Chandogya Upanishad. You will remember that? First Mahavakya, Prajnanam Brahma, comes from Rig Veda, Atriya Upanishad. The second Mahavakya, Tattvamasi, comes from Samved and comes from Chandogya Upanishad. If you all can remember these two, which I'm going to ask you again. I'm going to ask you all again. If you remember these two, then we can continue to go with others. Otherwise, no point. You see, when you go to, we have to keep our children quiet, please. Excuse me, somebody can tell them to keep it, by the board, tell them to keep the children quiet, disturb people. So, there are two more Mahavakyas, which I'll tell you, if I know that you know one of the other. I'm giving you, if you know one of two, I will tell you the other two. But if you don't know any, I'm not going to tell you all anymore. Because you always want to hear a story about Kevat and, the breaking of the bow, which you heard them so many times. Time for you to learn something that will make you understand what a great culture you have come from. What a great culture. Our language is what? Our language is Sanskrit. Sanskrit is used by NASA. Did you know that? Sanskrit is used by NASA. You know what NASA is? Everybody knows what NASA is? Okay. The people who shoot up the rocket, that organization is called NASA, NASA. They use Sanskrit because every word that is Sanskrit, every Sanskrit word does not have a dual meaning to it. What that one word is, it is that. You remember I told you about Jata Jute or Jata Jute? Jute is shoes, and Jute, Jya. You got me? Am I clear? Jya, Jute is his Jata. You see how fine and subtle it is, how accurate it is? That is why the computer, the best language that can use Sanskrit. So this is what you have come from. This is where you have come from. And if you understand that your God is Brahman, then anyone who tells you, or if your children come and tell you, they say we have idols, then you can sit down with them and explain to them, no son, this is our daughter. It is not so. Our God has no form. Our God has no shape, but to facilitate us, to pray to Him, to sing to Him, we have this verse for. You understand? You got it? Sumirana karale mere mana tere pita umara hare nama bina sumirana karale kar le, sumiran kar le, sumiran kar le, mere mana tere, bita umar Hare Naam bina.
सुमिरन कर ले
वाह, शाबाश. Kupanir bina, Kupanir bina, Dhenu chir bina, Dharati megha bina, Kupanir bina. There's no water on the earth. There's no milk in the cows. Dharati megha bina. No rainwater. Jaise tarawara. Like tarawara is orchard. Jaise tarawara. Phala binahina. Jaise tarawara. Phala binahina. Jaise prani. Hari Naam bina.
सुमिरन कर ले सुमिरन कर ले सुमिरन कर ले मेरे मना तेरी बीते उमर हरि नाम बिना सुमिरन कर ले
Deha naina bina. Like a body that has no eyes, so is a man who does not pray to the Lord. Deha naina bina. Raina chalda bina. Mandira deepa bina. Deha naina bina. Raina chalda. A night without the moon and a mandir without diya, light. That is why you go to some mandir, you can feel the energy. You go to another mandir, you feel no energy. You feel no energy where the Vedic mantras are not being chanted. You feel no energy where the Vedic incantations are not done. You feel no energy where Abhishek is not being done. So people ask, why there's so much thing on the altar, rice on the altar, flour on the altar. This is a Hindu, that's what a Hindu temple is. A real Hindu temple. Not to put the Lord in a little cage and make him gold and there. No. You must go and put chandan upon him, you must go put flowers upon him. So Balaji Abhishek. Someone had promised that they'll do Balaji Abhishek, we have heard back from them. That Balaji Abhishek goes on every Ekadashi. Flowers, milk, honey. So people say, you know what? You're wasting all these flowers, you're wasting all this honey, you're wasting all this. Right? Where do you eat all those, go to a restaurant and you pay so much dollars for their food. What happened to it afterwards? Kya hua? What happened to it afterwards? So for Bhagwan at least, why don't you give something to him? You don't have to, you individual don't have to do it every day, but everybody put a little bit. There's no pressure on anyone, and the Lord is happy. So where am I? Dehanaina bina, Raina chalda bina, Mandira deepa bina. What is the first Mahavakya? The first Mahavakya. Pragyana Brahma. What's the second Vakya? Mahavakya? That's easy. You all know that one because I know that. That one I know you all will know easily. But I will not give it anymore, okay? Jaise Pandita Veda Vihina, a Pandit who has no knowledge of the Vedas, Jaise Pandita Veda Vihina, Taise Purusha Hare Nama Vida.
सुमिरन कर ले मेरे मना तेरी बीते उमर हरि नाम बिना सुमिरन कर ले
काम क्रोध मद लोभ विकारो छोड़ दियो जगत दुसंत जना कहे नानक सुनो भगवंता ऐसे जग में कोई नहीं अपना
सुमिरन कर ले ओ सुमिरन कर ले सुमिरन कर ले सुमिरन कर ले मेरे मना तेरे बीते उमर हरि नाम बिला सुमिरन कर ले
when you do this Samaran, your inner Atma becomes pure. And when your inner Atma becomes pure, you can only bless people. Brahmins who do their Gayatri mantra, who do their puja, they are the one who is allowed to call themselves Brahmin. Others, the rest, no. But the one who call themselves, who does not observe the rules, and they are by birth they are Brahmin, they call themselves a bigger Brahmin than anybody else. And you know what? When you do, pailagi to the Brahmin, you touch their feet, and that Brahmin and give you Ashirvad with his hand, he is the only one who is authorized to give you Ashirvad, who does his Gayatri Japam and who does a daily Sandhya ritual. He is the only one who's supposed to call himself a Brahmin and who's supposed to give you Ashirvad. Because what? Subirana Karale. But those, you'll be surprised, those who don't, if they're born in that lineage, and they don't observe these rules, they call themselves the bigger Brahmin. But that's a topic for another day. Mere mana tere pita umar hare nama bina savirana karale. So, I told you about Prata Smarami this morning. I told you that you must try to know the truth. Vashisht told Prabhu Ram, when that person is a Pandit who is a knower of the truth, I quote the 11th verse of the 2nd chapter of Gita to tell you, to endorse that. I told you Pratas Marami, his sons Surat Tattva, that you wake up early in the morning and you talk to God and you listen to Him and you remember Him. That's one. And the second line I will tell you another day. We are going to have one kirtan and then I'm going to talk about the gastroesophageal reflux, or what they call acid reflux. Go ahead.
नगरी हो अयोध्या की, नगरी हो अयोध्या सी, रघुकुल सा घराना हो, चरण हो राघव के।
ओ नगरी से अयोध्या से, रघुकुल से घराना हो, चरण हो राघव की, जहाँ में ठिकाना हो। लक्ष्मण सी भाई
लक्ष्मण सा भाई हो,
कौशल्या माई हो,
कौशल्या माई हो।
स्वामी तुम जैसा मेरा रघुराई हो,
नगरी हो अयोध्यासी, रघुकुल सा घराना हो, चरण हो राघव के जहाँ मेरा ठिकाना हो। हो त्याग भरत जैसा, हो त्याग भरत जैसा, सीता सी नारी हो, सती नारी हो, लव कुश के जैसी संतान, नगरी हो अयोध्यासी।
नगरी हो अयोध्यासी,
रघुकुल का फलाना हो, चरण हो राघव के जहाँ मेरा ठिकाना हो।
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो,
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 राधा रमन हरि गोविंद बोलो,
राधा रमन हरि गोविंद बोलो, गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो,
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो,
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो।
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो।
Let's do something simple that everybody can join. तुम ही हो माता पिता, तुम ही हो, तुम ही हो माता पिता, तुम ही हो, तुम ही हो बंधु सखा, तुम ही हो माँ, ओ माँ, ओ माँ, ओ माँ, तुम ही हो
साथी तुम ही सहारे,
तुम ही हो साथी, तुम ही सहारे,
कोई न अपना सिवा तुम्हारे माँ।
ओ माँ, ओ माँ, ओ माँ।
तुम ही हो माता पिता, तुम ही हो, तुम ही हो,
माता पिता तुम ही हो,
तुम ही हो बंधु सखा, तुम ही हो माँ,
ओ माँ, ओ माँ,
ओ माँ, ओ माँ, ओ माँ, ओ माँ।
बोलिए जयकारा शेरा वाली दा।
बोल सांचे दरबार की जय।
आए हैं हम द्वार पे तेरे, पाने तेरा प्यार, आए ला
तार दे तार दे तार दे माँ हमें तार दे हो अम्बे तार दे तार दे माँ हमें तार दे हमें तार दे माँ हमें तार दे हो हमें तार दे माँ हमें तार दे हमें तार दे माँ हो हमें तार दे हो हमें तार दे माँ हमें तार दे हमें तार दे माँ हमें तार बोल सांचे दरबार की जय
So this morning I'm going to speak to you about heartburn, something that people, quite a few people, all of us have got it from time to time. It's called gastroesophageal reflux disease, or GERD for short. You know, in America everybody, big abbreviation of all these disease entities, they call it GERD. So they, is it on the screen? Yeah, it's on the screen. Okay. So the signs and symptoms. What are heartburn? Heartburn is a burning chest pain, retrosternal. You know what sternal means? Sternal means sternum. Retro means behind the sternum. But they use all these words so you don't understand, right? If you get a pain behind your sternum here, again I have to warn you. I have to warn you again. Heart attacks come in the center of your chest. The pain of heart attack comes usually in the center of your chest. That's where you feel that squeezing, if you have time. You feel a squeezing pain. So, I'm emphasizing that, because don't feel that every pain behind your chest is heartburn. But if you feel the bitter acid in your mouth, which you can feel from time to time, that when that acid regurgitates, come up in your mouth, and you feel that pain coming, and you see this comes after a heavy meal. Heart attacks usually come after a heavy meal. Heart attacks usually come after a heavy meal. Why? Because the blood is then diverted towards the gut for the digestion process, and less blood go, not less blood, but lots of blood go to the digestion process. So the time for heart attack sometimes comes like when you're working, when you are exercising, or when you have a heavy meal. I have to tell you this because I don't want you to go away with the impression that every pain that you get behind your chest bone here is heartburn. But this is where it can present itself. Heartburn, so it's called, and then it occurs usually after eating or drinking, as I said. And I told you that heart attacks can happen then. But what are some of the things that make the heartburn worse? They're called exacerbating factors. And it's worse than when you lie down, because when you lie down, you see that you see the esophagus there, or that side of the slide, the stomach, with some blue thing inside, and that pipe coming down is called the esophagus. I don't know if you can see, you probably can't see. There's a little sphincter there. Sphincter means a a valve. When you lie down, that valve can open up and allow the acid and the food to go up into your esophagus. That is why you are told never go and sleep or lie down after eating. Right? That it goes up and eating late at night. Most Indians eat late at night. Is that right, Satya? What time do you have dinner? 3:30. Oh. AM? Right. Purarsa, what time do you have dinner? What time you have dinner? Well, okay, that's dinner. Whatever you eat. I didn't ask about what you have. I said when you have. When you have. 7 o'clock. But if you go to India, when I go to India and I stay with people, they don't eat until about 9 o'clock. 9:30, 10 o'clock, the pulka will come off the tower and then they will eat it. Am I right? 9, 10 o'clock they will eat. And then they say, chalo walk karo thoda. They'll walk half a block. They'll come back in and I think that's enough. So, and if you check in India, diabetes is at one time, about 10 years ago, it was 70 million people. I'm sure it's over 200 million people now because that's an Indian disease, diabetes. So eating late at night is very bad. Please eat between 5 and 6. Don't eat later than 7. Very bad to eat. Don't go and, if you can go and walk a little bit after you eat, it's good. Because you know what they call that? What do they call that? Post-carb exercise. Carb means you eat your rice or whatever you eat, you go take a little walk, it helps to burn. But don't walk right away, wait for half an hour and then you walk. So, certain dietary choices, you can know what it is, that are eating too quickly. Some people, by the time they see the food you want to, if they inhale it or they eat it. Some people inhale their food. At Purasa, they inhale it. It goes so quickly, the whole plate is empty. Or eating too quickly. What are some of the improving factors? Some of the improving factors that if you get this heartburn, try and sit up. As a matter of fact, before you go for the operation for your hiatus hernia, which will cause this, I'll talk about hiatus hernia another time. Try to see whether you could get this done with sitting up, taking antacids. Don't rush for surgery. I'm a surgeon, but I tell you, don't rush with, because the only thing a surgeon can cure you with is what he can take out. If he take out your appendix, you're cured. If you take out your gallbladder, you're cured. But you can't take out your heart. If you take out your stomach and you got ulcers, then that part is cured. So whatever, but operation of itself is not a curative entity from time to time. So please try to see how best you can do it without surgery as such. So sit up, use antacids, and try to eat more slowly. Next slide. Oh, you got ahead before me. You can get regurgitation. Regurgitation means you sit down, you eat, and then your food comes up in your esophagus and comes in your mouth. And those are people who eat until the whole, not only the stomach is full, but the pipe is full up to here. So people, they eat like that. And you can get partially digested food will come through your mouth from time to time. Lots of belching come with reflux. And this is something that you have to look. But what are some of the symptoms? When the acid comes up into your esophagus, it goes over into your lungs, into your trachea, and can cause coughing. Lots of people cough at nights, especially when they cough at nights, is because of acid reflux. The acid goes up into their lungs, or into the trachea, the windpipe, and it irritates the windpipe, and it causes coughing. And doctors will search to find out, and they cannot find out why this person is coughing. But if the doctor sit down and take a proper history on them, that is why medicine is not a profession. Medicine is an art. Please remember this. But the art is no longer there. Today, you go, you get an MRI, you get an angiogram, you get a CT scan, you get the blood work. There's no way of art anymore. In my days when I qualified in 1965, before many of you were born, medicine was an art because we didn't have ultrasound, we didn't have CAT scan, we had x-rays, chest x-rays and so forth, but we didn't have all these sophisticated things. So we had to try to listen to the patient, examine the patient and make the diagnosis. How many doctors examine you when you go to the office? Hardly any. Hardly. They might take your blood pressure if you're lucky, or they hardly examine you. Honestly. If they go to, okay, go. So, if you listen, coughing, chronic coughing caused by regurgitation and belching, and the next slide will show you that dental disease can occur, or hoarseness can happen also, because that acid, when it goes, what they call a larynx, everybody know what the voice box? The voice box is from where your voice comes. It can make the voice box, irritate the voice box and cause it to be hoarse. And then, so that's due to acid reflux, dental issues, dental hygiene. People who have lots of acid reflux always have foul breath. Not because they're deformed, but this is a problem what acid does to you. And it takes away, you have gum recession, dental erosions, and what they call periodontitis, which is where the gums get inflamed. All that can be caused by acid. So acid in your stomach, although it is good for you, when it goes up into your esophagus, and goes up into your windpipe, and into your mouth, it's not a good thing. The Lord has put these things in a specific place for a specific purpose, that it must not go anywhere else. If we are not going to treat ourselves properly or look after ourselves properly, then these things will happen. Next week, I'll tell you more how we can, how much bad things can come with acid reflux. You don't see it very much now. They got stricture. Some of them, the esophagus becomes stricture down, and you got dilated, but that's a different story. But please remember, heartburn comes behind your breastbone, your sternum, called retrosternal, and that's where the pain of heart attacks come from. You will be surprised how many doctors in North America make that crucial mistake. Very crucial mistake, to the detriment and death of the patients, where they don't diagnose the heart attacks and think it is gastric problems. So many patients. Patients leave emergency, fall down in front of the emergency, and what they got in their pocket? Prescription for antacids. That's life. Gita Dhyanam and then Gita. Huh? The valve can be repaired? Yes, they repair hiatus hernia. That's when you got a hiatus hernia. The valve can't be repaired, but they'll wrap the stomach around it. They'll wrap the stomach around it, and that's why I said, try not to go for operation. Try to see if you can manage by what I call conservative means. Sitting up, taking antacids, don't take food that causes reflux. You know, you will know which food causes your stomach to get upset. You will know that. And this is one thing you must remember. When your stomach is upset, all you do to cure it, stop eat. Stop eat for 2 days. You see, everything get better. Just drink water. Drink water for 2 days, you will lose some weight, your insulin will go down, and you will be a happy camper. But you want to think, as soon as you see everyone else eating, what happened to your saliva? Your saliva is drooling. You want to eat at the same time. And look at all these men who got all this big belly, etc. That's the cause of a problem. Gita Dhyanam. Om Pathaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavatam
Narayana Swayam
Vyasena Gatatat Purana Muninam
Madhi Mahabharatam
Advaitamitavarshinim Bhagavatim
Ashtadashadyayini
Amba Tvamanusaldadami Bhagavat
Gite Bhavadveshinin
Namostute Vyasa Vishala Buddhe
फुल्लारविन्दायत पत्रनेत्रः
Yena Tvaya Bharata Taila Puram
प्रज्वालितो ज्ञानमया प्रदीप
Prapalla Parijataya
स्तोत्रवेत्रेण पाले
Yana Buddhaya Krishnaya
गीता अमृत दुहे नमः
Sarvopanishado Gavo.
दुग्धा गोपाल नंदना
I want you to look at that verse carefully and look at its translation. It's a very beautiful translation. All the Upanishad are the cows, and Krishna is the one who milks them. And who is the calf? Arjuna is the calf. The devotees are the consumers. It's beautiful. There are 4 types of scriptures we have. We have the Vedas that we believe in. We have the Upanishad that we believe in. We have the Bhagavad Gita, which comes in the middle of the Mahabharata and the Puranas. So Gita is so important for us. Gita is important in the sense that the word Hindu is not in Gita. There's no such word as Hindu in Gita. None. Gita is all about Brahma Jnana. And when it ends, every chapter, when it ends, it has Brahma Jnana inside. So, Sarvopanishado Gavo
दुग्धा गोपाल नंदनः
Pato Vatsa Sudhir Bhukta
दुग्धं गीता अमृतं महत्
Vasudeva Sutav Devam
कंसचाणूरमर्दनं
Devaki Paramanandam
कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरु
Bhishma Duna Tata Jaya Data Jala
गान्धारनीलोत्पला
Shalya Gragavati Kripeda Vagade
कर्णेन वेलाकुला
Ashwatthama Vikarna Ghora Makara
दुर्योधनावर्तिनी
Sotirna Kalupada Vairanade
कैवल्यका केशव
Parasharya Vachasaroja Mamalam
गीतार्थ गन्धोत्कटं
Nana Kyadaka Kesarav Harikatha
सम्बोधनावोदितं
Loke Sajjana Shatpadaira Haraha
पीपीयमानं मुदा
Bhuyad Bharata Pankajam Kalimala
रत्वं श्रियं श्रेयसे
Mukam Karoti Vachalam
भङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं
Yat Kripatamaham Vande
परमानन्दमाधवम्
Yam Brahma Balare Daruda Bharata
स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्ये सवै
Vedai Sagapada Krabo Parashirai
गायन्ति यं सामगा
Yana Vastida Taragatena Manasa
पश्यन्ति यं योगिनो
Yasyantam Navido Sura Suragana
देवाय तस्मै नमः
Chapter 3, verse 9. Why you do yajna? Yajnarthat karmano nyatra.
यज्ञार्थ्यात् कर्मणोऽन्यत्र
It's a little difficult to, you break it up quite nicely. Yajnarthat karmano nyatra. Karmano nyatra.
यज्ञार्थात् कर्मणोऽन्यत्र
Loko yam karma bandhanaha
लोकोऽयं कर्मबन्धनः
tadartham karma kauteya
तदर्थं कर्म कौन्तेय
mukta sangha samachara
मुक्तसङ्गस्समाचर
yagyarthat karmano nyatra
यज्ञार्थात् कर्मणोऽन्यत्र
lokoyam karma bandhana
लोकोऽयं कर्मबन्धनः
tadartham karma kaunteya
तदर्थं कर्म कौन्तेय
mukta sangha samachara
मुक्तसङ्गः समाचर
yajñarthat karmano nyatya lokoyam karma bandhana tadartham karma kaunteya mukta sangha samachara. Bhagavan Krishna is telling Arjuna that work done as a sacrifice, work done as a sacrifice for Lord Vishnu or Brahman, and when it is performed properly, only for the sake of Bhagavan, you do whatever job you do what? For his sake. You don't really want to say, oh, Dr. You are a great man, you have done so. No, waste the time. They can say so. They can say so. But if it affects Dr. Dubey, then the work becomes null and void. If the work, the people say, what a great job you have done, etc., etc., and you get, oh, there's nobody greater than me, that everything becomes tuch, nothing. Work done must be done for the sake of the Lord or for human beings. You must have no part of it. That is called yagya. The yagya when you go outside, I'm going to tell you about that a little bit. Lokoyam karma. If you do the work for yourself, there were quite a few people helping out in the tent outside to prepare it. Quite a few ladies. There were hardly any men. There was one guy, Chaitram, I don't know, see him this morning. He worked extremely hard together with Krishna plus Palm husband and so forth. They work a little bit. But mostly ladies. And we have so many executives as men. None of them were there, except for my brother Robin. And Dwarka, who was not the executive, was there. But lots of ladies were. Hardly any men. You have yajna means it's a cooperative work. When a yajna is done by the community, it's better than when a yajna is done by an individual. Because a community yajna means we all come together, we're pitching a tent, one person bring a bamboo, one person bring branch, one person dig the hole, one person bring water, one person bring food for people, which we forget. Food for people. People are working all day. Nobody brings food for them. They got to buy themselves. Anyhow, that is life. Tadartham karma kaunteya. O son of Kunti, perform your duties for the Lord's satisfaction. Don't look for anybody to praise you. But you know what? When I don't talk about people, they will go and say, you see, Dr. Dubey, he didn't say anything about me, and I worked so hard. He didn't say a word about me. What to do? Mukta Sangha Samachara. And when the community does this, it becomes liberated. Let us do our work for the sake of Bhagwan. Bhagwan has put us here. Let us do work for the sake of Bhagwan, and then we can prosper. Mr. Pura, you want to talk about Guruji before? Because I see you getting restless there, and I don't like to see people restless. Can somebody give him a mic? Mr. Pura is no, come in front. Mr. Pura is a great bhakta of Guruji, and he's coming to Guru Temple next Sunday, so he is here to talk about it.
Thank you, Dr. Dubey. My humble pranam to Bhagwan, Vishnu Bhagwan, and we welcome you all. I'm sure about 3 weeks ago, Puja Gurudev, Brahmarshi Gurudev was here at this temple, and many of you must have experienced his bliss, his divine bliss, and the power of his siddhis and riddhis, where he is here to show us how to live life. With our request, Gurudev is back in Toronto. He's arriving in next 3-4 days, and we have organized another similar program at Vishnu Hindu Sabha Mandir at Gaur Mandir. So you're all welcome. Please bring your friends, family, and everybody. It would be another blissful event. So we all look forward to see you all there. Please, we do have some brochures. If anybody who wants to take it, Sandy Sethi, who is with us, he'll be happy to provide you all the details. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Pura Sahib, who's a big supporter of Gurudev. We are going to go into meditation now, and then we'll continue further. Prabhu Ji,
प्रभु जी
Daya Karo,
दया करो
Man Mein
मन में
Aada Baso.
आने बसो
तुम बिना लागे सुना, तुम बिना
बिना लागे सुना
खाली घट में प्रेम भरो, खाली
घट में प्रेम भरो
तर्तमर्त पूजा नहीं जानू,
तंत्र मंत्र पूजा नहीं जानू
मैं तो केवल तुमको ही मानू,
मैं तो केवल तुमको ही मानू
सारे जग में ढूंढा तुमको,
सारे जग में ढूंढा तुमको
अब तो आकर बहादुरो,
अब तो आकर बाह धरो
Let the tones of the flute take you far away from here. Talk to God in your own way. Talk to God in your silence. Thank Him for everything, Prabhu. We do 2 pranayams and then we go to silence. Pranayam. Talk to God. Don't let your minds run away.
त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव वन्दनात् मृत्योर्मुक्षीयमामृतात्
Asato ma sadgavaya tamaso ma jyotirgavaya
असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय
mrityormayamritam gavaya.
ॐ शान्ति 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 ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति
भक्ति के दीप जलाओ
भक्ति के दीप जलाओ
जीवन को स्वर्ग बनाओ
जीवन को स्वर्ग बनाओ
धरा से पीड़ बिताओ
अमृत रस बरसाओ ओम शांति 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 ओम शांति शांति शांति
जीवन को नित महकाओ
जीवन को नित महकाओ
सब अवगुण को बिसराओ
सब अवगुण को बिसराओ
हर संताप हटाओ
नारायण को हर्षावो ओम शांति 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 ओम शांति शांति शांति
ओम सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनापधेतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ओम शांति 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 सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् ओम शांति 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 हरि ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः हरि ओम. Rub your hands together, put it over your face. Ask God to bless you with all the energy that is in your fingertips and the tips of your toes. I will ask Prabhu to bless all of us as we embark on this 7 days journey in our this 7 days journey for this yatra. Today's Priti Bhoj is sponsored by Vish and Savitri. Prasad, Vish is celebrating his 82nd birthday today. He's a cousin of mine. Come, Miss. Savi, both of you, come. We'd like to congratulate them. They are ardent supporters of our temple. They support our dialysis clinic. They do so much thing for us. Savitri, I know for a very, very long time, she's connected with me through my mamu, who's passed away, and Bish, father, mother, was my mother's puja. You check that out. You remember that? You don't remember. You don't remember. He don't remember. He too old.
बार बार दिन ये आए,
What?
बार बार दिल ये गाए,
Stop, stop.
तो जियो ये मेरी है आरज़ू। Happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you, happy birthday dear Vish, happy birthday.
Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy. Today we have got a donation of $4,000 from the Ramkishan family. The donation is being presented to Vishnu Temple in honor of our late parents, Harman and Kalavati Ramkishan, Isha's grandparents. That's Ish there, who plays the tabla. And two of our siblings, Bhagwan Das and Vishnu Dayal Ramkishan. So we'd like to say thanks for this generous donation of $4,000 to help us along with our activities. One big such activity is happening today. The tent alone today is $9,000 for the tent. For the tent, about $10,000 with all the accoutrements, etc. But it's a beautiful tent. Why? Money comes and money what?
Goes.
Who hoard it? They never enjoy it. I'm not saying that you must be careless with your money, look after yourself, but we must, and this is a 1 week where we are going to enjoy. I hope that you all enjoy and we have a nice pilgrimage. The only thing I think that 1 week is too short for all this preparation, but then after 1 week everybody gets bored out. You get bored out, Tej? You don't get bored out. Tej is if you see Tej fetching things yesterday, I was amazed. The strength, the divine Shakti these people get. All these ladies who come and work and take part, God will bless them. Because without them it can't happen. They can have all the money in the world, but without the workforce we cannot do it. And I would like to give them a round of applause from now. So, okay, we always said that, we never did it, but we can barely have the tent enough to finish for Saturdays. Tej had to work extremely hard to get it done from Wednesday to Wednesday, right? Wednesday. So it's good. I did see Prabhat come one day, but I'm sure he'll be bowling up there to sing.
Indu came.
His back is out. His back. Background में काम करते. Okay, so tomorrow is Monday, right? Tomorrow morning we're having Rudra Havan, which we do every holiday Monday. It starts at 10, finishes at 12. We have Shivling Abhishek outside under the trees. If you have never come, you should come and try it out. It's a beautiful experience. But you know, if you don't come, well, what can we do? And not only that, it's Shravan month. Tomorrow is Monday, so it's a double whammy for all of us. So please come, take part in Puja. Shiv Puja will start at 5:30, so that we can finish in time to go outside. Raksha Bandhan is on the Thursday, 11th of August. I'm playing golf on that day, but that's 11th of August. 18th of August, of course, is our beautiful Krishna Janmashtami, 5:30 p.m. to midnight. Or kuch? Pradosh Puja. Oh, that's long from now. I can't, that was a long time ago. Anyhow, so there you are. We are going to, Ganesh Chaturthi Puja is on Tuesday, 30th of August. And I don't think we do Visarjan this year. Visarjan is a useless thing in any case. So we'll have the Ganesh Puja here, wherever it is. Anything else? What the Boj? Huh? No, Hanuman Chalisa. Sitaram, Sitaram.
सीताराम 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 कहिए,
शाही बीत राखे राम, ताही बीत रहिए।
मूक में हो राम नाम, राम से वहाँ तुम्हें।
तू अकेला नहीं प्यारे, राम तेरे साथ है।
विधि का विधान जान, हरि राम कहिए।
शाही बीत राखे राम, ताही बीत रहिए। किया अभिमान तो फिर मान नहीं पाएगा।
होगा प्यारे वही जो श्री राम जी को पाएगा।
फल आशा त्याग शुभ काम करते रहिए।
चाहे विधि राखे राम, चाहे विधि रहिए।
महलों में राखे जाए, झोपड़ी में बास दे। चाहे विधि राखे राम, ताही बीत रहिए।
आशा एक राम जी से, दूजी आशा जोड़ दे।
नाता एक राम जी से, दूजा नाता तोड़ दे।
साधु संग राम रंग, अंग अंग रंगिए।
ओ काम रस त्याग प्यारे, राम रस कहिए।
Shri Radhe Govind Bhajo Bhaj Shri Radhe
ओ राधे श्री राधे गोविंद, भज मन श्री राधे।
Oh Shri Radhe Jai Jai Radhe
ओ राधे श्री राधे, जय जय
Radhe
राधे।
Bolo Shri Radhe Govind Bhajo Bhaj Shri Radhe
राधे श्री राधे गोविंद, भज मन श्री राधे।
Hare Vrindavan mein
राधे राधे
Vrindavan mein
राधे राधे
Nandagaon mein
राधे राधे
Nandagaon mein
राधे राधे
Hey, Vishnu Mandir mein
राधे राधे
Vishnu Mandir mein
राधे राधे
Vishnu Mandir mein
राधे राधे
Hey, Radhe Radhe
राधे राधे
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 Hey, Radhe 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 Radhe
राधे 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 राधे
Jai Jai Shri Radhe Jai Jai Shri Radhe Jai Jai Shri Radhe Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki Sadguru Deva ki Jai Om Namah Parvati Pataye Hara Hara Mahadev. One of my cousins here from Kitchener also, Ravi. So I was instructed from Guyana that if I don't pray for you, I will be in big trouble. So we do this prayer for you and for your wife. So Sarajal Visarjal Tubhi
विश्व करता तुम्ही विश्व ज्योति में हो प्राण भरता
Tubhi काल के काल हो शक्ति धारे स्वीकारो स्वयं वंदना भवानी दया धर्म की मन में ज्योति
जगाओ जीवन पंथ मेरा प्रभु जगमगाओ हरो पाप मेरे भरो भाव भक्ति मुझे नाथ बंधन विधाता मेरा कोटि कोटि
हे बंदन। ओम नमः पार्वती पतये हर हर महादेव। What were the two Mahavakyas? Tatvamasi. You all remember those, right? There are two more. So we'll do the two more some other time. But if I ask you again, and you remember, then we'll do it. Otherwise, Arti.
Om Jai Jagadish Hare Swami Jai Jagadish Hare
भक्त जनों के संकट
दास जनों के संकट क्षण में दूर करे ओम जय जगदीश हरे जो जावे फल पावे दुख बिन से मन का
स्वामी दुख बिन से मन का
ओ सुख संपत्ति घर आवे
सुख संपत्ति घर आवे
कष्ट मिटे तन का
ओम जय जगदीश हरे
ओ मात पिता तुम मेरे शरण गहो में किसकी
स्वामी शरण गहो में किसकी
ओ तुम बिन और न दूजा
तुम बिन और न दूजा
आश करूं मैं किसकी
ओम जय जगदीश हरे
तुम पूरन परमात्मा तुम अंतर्यामी
तुम अंतर्यामी
ओ पार ब्रह्म परमेश्वर
पार ब्रह्म परमेश्वर
तुम सबके स्वामी
ओम जय जगदीश हरे तुम करुणा के सागर तुम पालन करता
तुम पालन करता
मैं मूरख कल कामी
मैं सेवक तुम स्वामी
कृपा करो भरता
ओम जय जगदीश हरे तुम हो एक अगोचर सबके प्राणपति
स्वामी सबके प्राणपति
ओ किस बिन मिलो दया में
इस बिन मिलो दया में
तुमको मैं कुमति
ओम जय जगदीश हरे दीन बंधु दुख हरता ठाकुर तुम मेरे
स्वामी रक्षक तुम मेरे
अपने हाथ उठाओ
अपनी शरण लगाओ
द्वार परम तेरे
ओम जय जगदीश हरे
विषय विकारम तारो पाप हरो देवा
पूर्णमदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ द्यौः शान्तिरन्तरिक्षगुं शान्ति पृथिवी शान्तिरापः शान्तिरोषधयः शान्तिः वनस्पतयः शान्तिर्विश्वे देवाः शान्ति ब्रह्म शान्ति सर्वगुं शान्ति शान्तिरेव शान्ति सामा शान्तिरेधि गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। बोलिए गुरुदेव भगवान की
जय।
श्रीमद् भागवत महापुराण की
जय।
श्री व्यासदेव भगवान की जय। धर्म की
जय हो।
अधर्म का
नाश हो।
प्राणियों में
सद्भावना
सद्भावना
हो।
हो विश्व का कल्याण
कल्याण
हो
हो।
हर हर महादेव शंभो शिव।
Teacher, you.